Hey, welcome back to the vlog, and also welcome to South Dakota. My mom here and I are going to be road tripping around the Black Hills region and around Badlands National Park for about a week, and I'm super excited to explore South Dakota and see the historic sites as well as the gorgeous nature that the state is known for. Right now we are at Waldrug in the tiny town of Wall, just outside of Badlands National Park, and we're just kind of exploring. This is a super touristy spot. It started out as just a drugstore back in I think 1931, and they offered free ice water, which helped people to come here, and since then it has just built up, and there's all these different stores that are like cowboy, Old West, Native American art. It's very themed, very kitschy, very cool and fun to just wander around and see all this stuff. There's a ton of things to see and buy and eat. We've just kind of wandered around so far, but we do plan on eating some dinner here and then maybe getting some snacks. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of little photo ops, and I'm excited to show you. After this, we still have about an hour drive to our campsite where we're gonna stay a few nights near Custer State Park. So come along. Like I said, I'm really excited for this trip and to share it. So thanks for tuning in. Okay, it is the next day. I didn't end up filming anything else after Waldrug because it was my turn to drive, and then by the time we got to the campsite it was dark, so it is what it is. So here we are. This campsite is gorgeous, just surrounded by all these beautiful trees, and we are staying in one of the cabins. It's pretty basic, just a couple bunk beds, but it is nice and cozy and a cheap option to stay, and that is nice. We are going to explore Custer State Park today, and I'm really excited because it's going to be absolutely gorgeous, I am sure, based on all the videos and photos I've seen. We've come into Custer for some breakfast. We're gonna try this Baker's Cafe, I think. But it's such a cute little town, and there's all these buffalo statues that are painted different. I love cute little towns like this. All right, we've made it to Custer State Park. It's $20 per vehicle, and it's good for up to 7 days. And then we have driven to Sylvan Lake first, and it is known, I think, as the gem of Custer State Park, and I can clearly see why, because it is just gorgeous. An awesome thing about South Dakota state parks is that drones are allowed, so I'll show you some awesome drone footage. This lake is just beautiful blue, and all the rocks and boulders and stuff just add so much dimension to it, and it's so mirror-like. It's just such a great reflection on the water, and like I said, the color of fall is starting to pop with all these yellow birch trees, and it's just gorgeous. Now we are going to walk the loop around the lake. It's 1 mile, rated easy to moderate. It's such a beautiful day right now. I'm excited to explore. Okay, that was a gorgeous hike. About half of it is just gravel and relatively flat, and then the other half is more rocky and you have to climb a little bit, but pretty easy. And like I said, just gorgeous. There are a ton of little chipmunks running around, and the rocks around here just glitter with mica and I think quartz. It's just amazing. All right, now we are driving the Needles Highway, and it's one of the scenic routes here in Custer State Park with all these crazy rock formations around you. sweeping views of the forests and mountains. And there's also a cool little tunnel called the Needle's Eye Tunnel that you go through, and it's just a one-car kind of tunnel. You can only be a certain height to go through. And then on the other side, or on one side of it, there's the Needle's Eye Rock, which looks like a needle's head, and it's pretty cool. We're gonna keep going, and then there's a hike we're gonna do as well. All right, we've stopped at the Cathedral Spire Trail. It's 1.5 miles out and back. It's rated moderate to strenuous. I don't know if we're gonna hike the whole thing necessarily. We'll just kind of wait and see how we feel. I'm not a huge hiker, I would say, but as long as there's not a ton of elevation gain, I should hopefully be okay. But it's beautiful, and it takes you to like the section of rocks known as the Cathedral Spires, because it kind of looks like a cathedral, the rock formations. Okay, as predicted, we did not make it all the way, but you know, you should just know your limits. And if you have to turn back, you shouldn't feel bad about it, especially since this was more of a strenuous hike anyway. We are now headed back down. We're gonna keep driving the Needles Highway and then probably find somewhere to pull over and eat some lunch. The part of the hike that we did do was very gorgeous, but it is very uphill and a lot of rocks after the first section. All right, we found a cute little picnic spot. We're gonna eat some meat, cheese, and crackers and some fruit. And then we're gonna drive the wildlife loop and hopefully see some bison, burros, other things that they have in the park here. I haven't talked about it, but tomorrow we're going to the buffalo roundup that they do annually here. So I'm kind of excited for that. And we'll definitely see a buffalo then. Okay, we've found our first wildlife. Oh wait, we saw like a bighorn sheep or something, but now we are at a little prairie dog town, and they are so cute. They're only like a few feet from the pull off, so you can get a real good close view, but of course you don't want to approach them or feed them or anything, but oh, they're so adorable. After finishing the wildlife loop, we ended up driving up the Iron Mountain Road, which was really twisty and turny, and there were like pigtails which turn you completely all around, and it was pretty crazy and cool and beautiful. I didn't really take a ton of footage because I was driving for part of the time, and there are also views of Mount Rushmore. I just want to say we're not going to Mount Rushmore on this trip, mostly because I think it's like super boring. Like, why would I want to go see a bunch of old white men on a mountain? Half of them were slave owners. Not really my thing. We have come back to the cabin probably for the rest of the night. We were gonna probably go out again, but my stomach was hurting a little, so I think we're just gonna stay in and do some reading. It's just really nice out this evening, very beautiful. Tomorrow we are going to the Buffalo Roundup, and parking starts at 6:15 in the morning. I'm not a morning person, so hopefully it goes well and we get a good spot, I guess. All right, I will see you then. We are on hour 2 of waiting to park for the Buffalo Roundup. We got to the park at about 6:30. It's now 8:30. Took 30 minutes before the line even started moving. But we have seen some buffalo and some other animals, I guess, along this wildlife loop. There's thousands of cars, so we'll see how much longer it takes before we actually get to park. The actual roundup doesn't start until 9:30, so still an hour away, I guess.
Much later.
The roundup takes place each year so they can vaccinate the calves and check the animals over. Then they also auction off some of the extra bison because the prairie in the park can only sustain about 1,400 animals. All right, we finally saw, after a lot of waiting, the Buffalo Roundup. Was it cool? Yeah. Was it also kind of anticlimactic? Yeah.
Definitely.
It only lasted like maybe a minute tops. Them running by with the horses and the cars and stuff. But at least it's a really beautiful day, perfect weather, a nice breeze. We're gonna go probably to the art festival now because there's also like a little arts festival going on this weekend. Kind of wander around there, maybe go do a hike, I don't know. I guess we'll just see what the rest of the day has in store. We ended up wandering around the arts festival a little bit, and now we are back at the cabin. We're gonna take a bit of a nap, and then we're gonna go explore downtown Custer, get some food, probably at Subway, and then try to find a pretty place for sunset. We picked up some fudge downtown, and now we're gonna enjoy it next to Stockade Lake as we watch the sunset. It's gotten really cloudy, but I'm hoping that there's a lot of color in the sky, hopefully. So we will see. I'll probably fly the drone too. So I'm gonna show you some of the fudge. There were some really great flavors like huckleberry, which I sampled and it was delicious. We ended up getting 6 because it was buy 4, get 2 free. And who can pass up that offer? It was about $16 for that much. So I mean, fudge can get expensive, and that was a pretty good deal, I think. So
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and eat that, and I'll show you the sunset. I forgot to film an outro for this video, but I just want to say thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me out and is greatly appreciated. Stay tuned for more South Dakota videos in the future, and have an awesome day. The needles, shit. Okay, now we are driving the needle. I need to do a blooper reel on this one. Just up on your foot.